James Twin for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire, and y'all know the rest. Now, listen, man, it is in fact Beterbiev Bivol Fight Week, and I know we're all really excited about it here on True School Sports. So, with that being said, this is a collection of predictions and breakdowns compiled a few interviews over the years. Enjoy it, it's gonna be a great fight this weekend, and there's so many people picking Bivol. There's so many people picking Beterbiev, but either way, it's a win for boxing, and let's just all rejoice this week. Shout out to both fighters, and even shout out to Turkey Alish for making the fight happen and whatnot. And yeah, there will be an all-time great crowned in the light heavyweight division this weekend. So leave your predictions down below and enjoy the fights.
And again, now the jab doesn't come, but then you shoot, and then you fall short with your offense because the guy steps back out of range, and then you try to then you try to attack or try to make up for that loss of space, and then you throw it at your hands going, that dude counters you. Bing, bing, bing. Get out of here. Then he walks away from you and do it all over again. Wash, rinse, and repeat. That's tough to deal with, dog. So
it is.
If they fight, I'm going Bivol. I could be wrong because Beterbiev has that one punch knockout type of power, but I'm a favorite. Beterbiev has the style to give Bivol issues, and I think that vice versa. It's your traditional boxer versus the puncher. Beterbiev is, I would say, he is a cerebral type of pressure fighter. He's not one of those guys that throws caution to the wind. He understands how to break guys down. He has this method of breaking the guys down and his techniques. Bivol, again, his feet, man. When you have a guy that has really good feet, and I keep saying that, your foundation, bro, is important. They're able to keep guys off balance. Even guys like pressure guys, they're able to keep these guys off balance by using their legs and in and out, and changing the range, being very deceptive with their attacks. And then you add the jab on top of that, dog, getting hit upside the head with the jab and having to reset every single time you get hit. Wow.
He's a great boxer, and he has punching power. And then Beterbiev, I think he's a little bit older. I think his body's breaking down a little bit. He works really hard. I don't take nothing away from him, but he does a lot of weights. And in boxing, when you do too much weights like that, that's when you start to break down more. So I'm leaning a little bit more.
I know out there in Saudi they had the whole Beterbiev and Bivol face-off recently.
Love that fight.
That to me is like a true 50-50. I don't really say that about many fights, but how do you see that one?
I got Bivol. I think his style is so difficult to deal with. He doesn't get hit much. And listen, the more time passes, the older Beterbiev gets. I think he's 40 now, or he's 39. I think he's
pushing 39, 40.
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
around. He's my age. I don't know. I mean, I know he lives a very clean lifestyle. He stays in the gym, but he just got a bad jaw infection. That could affect him too. And just Bivol, man, I think Bivol's just one of those guys. He's stylistically, he's a nightmare.
Everybody's saying Bivol went out boxing. How?
He was an elite boxer too.
Yeah,
he's an AIBA world champion.
And here's my thing. If you look at Bivol's resume, it's shaky. Let's keep it above. It's shaky. The last guy he fought, coming off of a knockout loss to Anthony Yarde.
Lyndon Arthur, yeah.
I mean, his resume shaky. I mean, let's keep it.
You're saying it don't hold the weight that Beterbiev is.
It don't hold the weight. Like I think this is gonna be a step down in competition for Arthur, because he's been in so many tougher fights with so many guys that's
kind of go with the flow. I'm a fan of the sport, so I like boxing as a whole.
Yeah.
Just go with it. Like to stay up to date with everything that's going on in the industry.
I got one for you actually. I got one. Beterbiev Bivol. Bivol.
I think Beterbiev is a good fighter, but he does make a lot of mistakes and gets tagged. I give it to Bivol. Bivol stays on his game. He's way sharper and he's a smarter man, so I give it to Bivol.
Yeah, I got Bivol too.
Yeah. I give it to Bivol.
As long, but he better make sure.
I like to see Callum Swift against Beterbiev. That's going to be a good fight.
That's probably going to be his next fight, actually.
I like Callum Swift a lot. I think he's a tremendous fighter, so I think it'll be a good fight to see.
He seemed like he's coming along. You're a big boxing fan, so I wanted to get your take on that Beterbiev Bivol fight this weekend. What you think about it?
Man, it's hard to say. I'll be tuned in as a fan.
Yeah.
I can't really say, so we'll see. Both great guys, both have the pros and their strengths, and but I feel like what people see them as, they have other skills that are underrated that people don't.
There's more dimensions.
Yeah, it's not just like Beterbiev is just this huge puncher, and Bivol's just this stick and move on his toes boxer. They have a lot more to the game than just that. So.
Okay, so you gotta really know what you're looking at. Be a trained eye in boxing to fully understand it.
Yeah, I mean, Bivol, he's light on his feet, but he's got a lot of punching power, and he's got a lot of ring IQ. He's great at positioning. Beterbiev is great at positioning. I said with Sean, he'll lure a fighter in and turn him and put him on the ropes, and he's a big puncher, but he doesn't get off balance, and he works his way in with the jab. It's a lot of things, so it'll be an exciting fight. I don't really see it going the distance. So
yeah, either way, either Bivol can stop Beterbiev.
Yeah, I think he can be stopped. Yeah, of course. Anybody can be stopped for one, and two. Beterbiev has been dropped before more than once against
Callum Johnson, Jeff Page Jr. early in his career. Yeah.
And so I'm sure. Not that those guys were bums. I'm sure they were sturdy guys, and every fight's different. But I'm sure Bivol could. Those guys could. That Bivol could.
Okay. So,
what you think?
I got Beterbiev by stoppage.
Yeah.
Yeah, late rounds, 10, 11.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, because one thing about Beterbiev is when he closed that gap on you, he doesn't. You don't think of him as a guy with hand speed, but you look up sometimes and he gets 5, 6, 7 off, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, put them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well. We're going to find out soon.
We're going to find out real soon. Thank you so much, man.
He's a big puncher. And I don't know. That's a great fight. That's a great fight to see. That's probably one of the best fights out there right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's going to win, but I'm just picking Bivol. I'm just picking him because I seen him fight with Canelo.
Okay.
But I think that either one of those guys.
Beterbiev is a much better boxer than people think, and there's nobody in the light heavyweight division who hits like he does. He's a very, very good tactician with tremendous power. So, Bivol is a terrific fighter, as he showed with Canelo, but I think when push comes to shove, Beterbiev is better. But we'll see on June 1st when they fight each other.
I think he stops him like 5 or 6. I think he stops him. I don't think Bivol gonna have the punching power to keep him off.
Okay.
And I don't think that stuff you do against other guys is gonna work because Artur real good at keeping his distance. Let me ask this: do you think Bivol punch harder than Callum Smith?
Absolutely not. No. Bivol has had a knockout since he fought Sullivan Barrera.
And that was like 105 years.
Like 10 fights ago.
You know what I'm saying? So if you look at it, and don't get me wrong, in boxing anything can happen.
Of course.
Anything can happen. But if I'm just going off my common sense and I'm going on the body of work they putting out, it's not even a fight. Just in my opinion, it's not even a fight.
David deal with somebody with that kind of firepower and skills and physical strength.
How do you see that fight playing out?
I've always I have a very high opinion of Artur Beterbiev. Huge. I don't think he's ever gonna lose.
Ever.
I think he's gonna retire.
Yes, speed kills, but power destroys. So my breakdown is I got Bivol outboxing Beterbiev for about 6 rounds, 3 to 6 rounds, but eventually Beterbiev gonna close the gap. And when he closes the gap, you know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen.
He's gonna wear you down and where you. All right, so my guy Lee from
Canada, Ottawa,
Canada.
Yeah.
LT Boxing, right?
That's right, LT Boxing on the channel.
Yeah.
And I'm at the Legend here, True School Sports. You know what I mean? Professional right here, Florida, Canada. We're all getting the boxing news out.
We're all getting the boxing news out, man. What do you think about the fight tonight with Florida and Comatose?
Excellent. I think fight of the year Canada right now. It could be the fight of the year in total.
Yeah. Okay. And what about the boxing scene in Canada? What's that like?
It's good. Beterbiev's taking over right now, and he's gonna shock the world and beat Bivol. These guys don't agree with me over here, but
I got Beterbiev as well.
I got Beterbiev winning, so I think we're gonna have the light heavyweight unified champion fighting out of Canada, and hopefully we get some more good fighters. And stay tuned.
My man Lee from LT Boxing. Nice meeting you.
Yes, sir.
All kinds of stuff's gone wrong with this guy, and he's been very injury prone, and that doesn't bode well when you're fighting a puncher. and a lot of people think he's on old legs, and I'm one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think he's what he was. But we'll see. Maybe he comes through like a champ. Who knows? You know.
So
I'll tell you what.
Are you gonna go?
His gym stablemate training the same trainer, Maklebev. He didn't look too good, did he?
No, he didn't. But he's not Beterbiev. He's not even close.
No. I know, but he was a total fraud.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I couldn't believe it. He had a G Caballero looking like he was the second coming of Ike Biabucci. He was chopping that body up.
No, he had him the second coming of fucking Sugar Ray Robinson, for Christ's sake. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He looks so bad against Caballero. I want to see Caballero fight for the winner of Undisputed next. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But no, like I think Callum Smith, I don't know, like I just think Beterbiev is gonna be too physically strong for him. I don't see it. I think Beterbiev lives that life of a fighter, and even if he has had his problems, I don't see Callum Smith being the guy.
That's conventional wisdom, and I can see that. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets knocked the fuck out too.
Yeah, he has been dropping me. I remember when Callum Johnson put him out or put him down.
Put him down. Yeah. That was in round 2, I believe, and then round 4, Callum Johnson was out. So who knows?
So who knows? Should be a good fight when it does happen. And then
you got 6 more minutes. Come on now.
All right. Bivol has already signed as part of the contract. If Beterbiev beats Smith, then that's the next fight to make. Who are you favoring in that fight?
I like the younger, fresher guy with the better foot speed, and that is Bivol. But I'm not saying that. Listen, Bivol. What's his name? Fakasa. What's his name? The nail there knocked him out. 5 years ago already?
Yep.
He's got such crunching power. He can change things with one punch. So who knows? But I like the guy with the better ring IQ and the better foot movement and stuff. And that's definitely Bivol. But I thought Bivol did not look good at his last fight over in Saudi Arabia. He didn't look good at all.
He has this way about him, Bivol, where I don't think any fighter on the pound for pound list, and I talked about this earlier in my last live earlier today. He has this thing about him where he fights guys that are nobody on the pound for pound list carries average opposition like Bivol. Because it was the same thing with Salamov, it was the same thing with Arthur, and he's had a lot of fights like that in his career.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What about Beterbiev Bivol? I know Beterbiev Bivol is to me, it's the most significant fight in boxing this year, bro. What do you think about that fight overall?
It's a true 50-50 fight, and I tweeted about it. I said my head says Bivol. Come on, the younger guy, better jab, fresher feet, has that huge shock absorber neck to be able to absorb the power when he needs to win this fight over 12 rounds, right? The logical, but then my heart, my gut, which, our hearts and guts tend to be a little more dramatic than our heads sometimes, says no, Beterbiev digs a little bit deeper in his fights. He exhausts himself a little bit more. He takes it to a 5th and 6th gear. Right, he digs a little deeper, and he'll make it in the second half of the fight. He'll make it a fight, and the fight will break out, not the boxing match that Bivol will have the better of early. And once it becomes a fight, there's 2 Russian monsters, giving their best. Beterbiev will get the better of that exchange, and then in that Lyndon Arthur fight, please tell me you saw it in the 6th or 7th. He dominated Lyndon Arthur, right? Everyone talked about how boring it was. I thought he looked very fast and threw some nice combinations.
Mm-hmm.
Lyndon Arthur got him with a right hand to the body midway.
I remember that.
And Bivol didn't throw punches for 30 seconds after. And it just so, and I wondered if that, God gives us foreshadowing sometimes. It's whether you realize it or not. And I wondered in that moment, was that a little bit of foreshadowing of how Beterbiev will get to him? Because Beterbiev has that rarely thrown, and he's very good at it, mid-range, kind of straight right hand to the body, right underneath the elbow. And he could turn it, and he could throw it at a couple of different angles, but he throws a really good usually the great body work is what, the hook to the body, inside the uppercut, something, or
power jab to the stomach.
Floyd Mayweather stab to the body, right? The Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Caleb Plant against Benavidez, stab to the body. This man, Artur Beterbiev, just so happens to throw that punch that Lyndon Arthur, the only good punch he landed basically the whole fight, he just so happens to throw that punch as good as anybody in boxing. So, and I think Bivol gets to a 3rd and 4th gear, but I think as fights go on, Beterbiev turns it up to like a 5th and 6th gear.
I feel like Bivol, when he fights, I don't know what you think about this, but I feel like when he's fought like guys that are naturally light heavyweights, he doesn't look as good as when he fights smaller guys coming up. Like, for example, like Pascal, smaller guy coming up, Canelo, smaller guy coming up. But the full-fledged guys, even if they're not like the highest rated light heavyweights, the guys like Craig Richards and Salamov,
Sullivan Barrera
Sullivan
almost went the distance but got knocked out in the last round.
Yeah.
But HBO was busy saying how pedestrian he was looking up until the knockout.
Yeah, he gets, I don't know what, like when it comes to fighting guys who are naturally 175, he doesn't light the world on fire. And everyone that's picking Bivol that doesn't quite understand Beterbiev's full skill set, they say, well, Beterbiev is the guy that comes forward and gets hit.
So when Beterbiev first came out the amateurs, you knew I loved Kovalev, right?
Yep.
I loved Kovalev's jab, his height, his right hand. And I remember Beterbiev came out and there was this stories about he beat Kovalev in the amateurs. And then I looked at tape of him. This was like 10 years ago. And I was like, oh no, keep Kovalev away from him. I knew what a problem he was. And then I went to his fight in Chicago when Jesse fought Delorme. And he fought Callum Johnson.
Yep.
He walked right into a right hand, and Callum Johnson, who is a domestic British level fighter, put Artur Beterbiev on his ass. And it took me a couple years to shake that out of my mind. I was like, oh, Beterbiev ain't all that. Like, I saw him get dropped ringside in Chicago against Callum Johnson. Like, he ain't all that. Canelo will beat him. That's what I was on.
I remember you saying that. He
just comes forward, and Canelo's this amazing counter puncher, and he's faster. And even though he's small, he's so strong. He'll be able to take what Beterbiev dishes out, slide, catch, and then run his hands and punch in between his punches. And then he fought Vazdik, who I picked against him, made me eat my words. Then when he fought Joe Smith, and he showed you, no. This is what I look like against a guy that can just come forward with power. That's actually Joe Smith. I'm Artur Beterbiev. I'm way better than that. You know, I know how to take angles to cut the distance. I got footwork. I can fight off the back foot.
It's a complete fighter.
Yeah, I'm elite. I'm elite. And if I beat Dmitry Bivol, I'm one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time. Ask Lonnie B.
Yes. Shout out to Lonnie B.
So I had my little valley with Beterbiev after seeing him in Chicago get dropped, and now I'm back on the Artur Beterbiev's a great fighter, and
I feel like I kind of went through something similar. Although I would say I came back to the Beterbiev train a little earlier. I would say like maybe when he fought Marcus Brown on that fight, I started saying, you know what, okay, this guy, his jab, man, like his power jab, I feel doesn't get talked about enough. It's one of the best in the business. You saw the last fight of Callum Smith. He was just boxing patiently behind the power jab before he stopped him in the 7th round.
Yeah.
And that power jab, I feel, is going to offset a lot of the movement and the pendulum stepping and the footwork of that Bivol likes to use on his opponents.
He's going to start trading jabs with him, jabbing with the jabber, having more success with it as the fight goes on after initially being out jabbed by the busier, younger Bivol. And you're saying eventually when they start trading jabs, that shit's going to start hurting Bivol.
Because his jab is like his jab is like a straight right hand. It's a sledgehammer,
Right.
So we'll see how it goes, but it's a great fight. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.